Okay, I think I kind of got this working. Um, yeah, so this is my arc method. I calculate the radius here, but then I also calculate the two dot products of the right and forward vector. And I use the forward vector dot product quite a bit to figure out if the thing's really in front. And I give it like a threshold of like 0.85. So if it's 0.85 in front, then it will be like, cool, it's mostly forward. Then it checks to see if it's hit anything in front or if it's about to. If it's about to hit something, then it does a kind of like just a forced reverse bit of a turn. If it's not going to hit something, then it decides if it's really, really right in front, like I do this 0.995 threshold, it's really, really in front, then it just sets both wheel speeds to max. If it's so if it's between 0.85 and 0.995, then it does this arc method. And I put this here just as playing with some factors. I also put this here because I was like playing with factor, but I found it doesn't really need it, so it's doing me a full arc method actually. I can take this out really. This was like a damping factor, but it's actually not really needed. As soon as I put this in, like this really helped, because otherwise without this, it did do a bit of a wiggle back and forth, the zigzag. But as soon as I put that in it fixed it. And then if it's not within 0.85, then it goes down here and it turns. And I played around with a second like step where it turns like by just locking up one side and then doing the other side forward, and it doesn't reverse one side, but that's kind of what the arc method does, so I found it wasn't useful. But anyway, I think it's working. It's working well enough, I think, for what's it called? For rundown robot ruins, or robots that need you to help fix them. So you can see it calculates, I click somewhere and it calculates the spline. I can't tell if it's bumping. No, I don't think it's bumping. I think it's like rocking motion when in corners is because the throttle isn't smooth. And so I think that's something that would be good to smooth out. But you can see it'll hit that and then it does this kind of reverse. It doesn't reverse enough. I can probably put a timer on that so that it, like, if it, I could do a lot with that, but you can see it where it works pretty well. It gets round. It's very bouncy. It's pretty fun actually. I can't wait I'll get it in the more like first person game version soon. I just used their navigation map because it was a good nice way to test. Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot for your help. Oh yeah, you can see, so this little white ball, so the spline it generates instantly from the navigation mesh. The little white ball is like what gets fed into that next location data, and I put a little variable so I could control how close that is also. It's at 5 meters right now. Yeah, so that's its sort of little goal ball. Let's pull it along. Yeah. You'll have to figure out when they're what they should do if they're going to hit something or things like that. If they just stop and wait, or how much they try and figure out and go around things. I mean, the nav mesh or like how many things I can put on the nav mesh. Like this car isn't being registered by the nav mesh, so I think that's why it lets it try and go through it. It was running over it before too, which kind of worked. Yeah, it would be fun to. I feel like I want to build in a little bit of like anti-wheelie, and just some throttle smoothing, that kind of thing, just to clean it up a bit. But this works well enough for now. I should probably move on. It's pretty fun. Gotta try a few now.